Welcome to the AI Chat Podcast. I'm your host, Jaden Schaefer. Every day we break down breaking AI news stories and explain their implications in your life and in business. If you are interested in seeing really interesting AI use cases, make sure to follow me over on x.com, formerly Twitter, as I will be sharing some really cool use cases of AI, and I kind of, retweet some of the greatest things I'm seeing in the space every day. So make sure to follow me at Jaden_AI. I'll drop a link to that, but also my handle is in the podcast cover. I would love to have you in the community. Have you ever wanted to start your own podcast? I record and publish podcasts on a platform called Spotify for Podcasters, and I absolutely love it. Essentially, you can upload from your phone or computer, and it distributes to every platform that plays podcasts. They support video podcasts, and you can make money on the platform with ads or even podcast subscriptions, something that has made my life so much easier as a podcaster. So if you're interested, I highly recommend you give it a try. You can download the Spotify for Podcast app or go to spotify.com/podcasters to get started on your podcast today. Today on the podcast, we are talking about a player in the AI space that has just raised $50 million in strategic funding, and the company is Weights and Biases. We're going to be talking about who is giving them the money, where we see this going, and really how we see this impacting the overall AI landscape in the future. So let's jump into it. So, of course, Weights and Biases is a leading platform in AI machine learning development, and it has secured this $50 million in strategic funding. So notable contributors on this round include ex-GitHub CEO Nat Friedman and former Y Combinator partner Daniel Gross. So this financial injection that we're seeing right now really sees existing backers such as Coacher, Insight Partners, Felicius, Bond, Bloomberg Beta, and Sapphire, raising the company's valuation to around $1.25 billion. This is amazing. And that's, what it's currently at. So this means the startup has amassed a total of $250 million in funds that they've raised. And the latest capital injection, although it's, fairly substantial, is less than the $135 million the company drew during its Series C round. So while their valuation did grow, so this technically isn't a down round, only being able to raise $50 million when their last round was 135 is probably a little bit painful for them. So I think that Livea Shulka, who is the VP of growth at Weights and Bias, she sees this latest round as opportunistic. She shares, quote, "We believe that giving employees machine learning tools should be table stakes for CTOs and their teams. Weights and Biases places a crucial role in ensuring the development of successful machine learning models, addressing aspects such as testing, security, and reliability," end quote. So I think the origin story of Weights and Biases, if you don't know, it's kind of rooted in the joint vision of Lucas Bewald and Chris Van Pelt. Both of them have previously funded, Figure 8, which is a platform designed to recruit individuals for labeling training data. And this was eventually acquired by Appen back in 2019 for around $175 million. So Shulka pretty much illuminates their journey a little bit and says, quote, "They recognized a significant gap in the market. Machine learning practitioners lacked an efficient record system for their experiments, often resorting in makeshift solutions like spreadsheets." So to address this, Bewald and also Van Pelt collaborated with Sean Lewis, which is a former Google developer, to essentially create a solution. And what was the result? It is Weights and Biases. So this is a really innovative platform designed to optimize the machine learning development lifecycle. In, I think, today's tech ecosystem, Weights and Biases pretty much exists in the domain known as MLOps, or machine learning operations. And MLOps platforms essentially facilitate the creation and deployment of machine learning models into production. So I think right now, with AIs really rising in prominence, the demand for MLOps and those type of platforms is really skyrocketing. So estimates from Allied Market Research Project say that they project the MLOps sector is going to reach around $23 billion this year. So I think in this massively growing sector, several different companies are coming to the forefront. So there's Selden, there's FedML, and there's also Arise. All of these ones have come out. But Weights and Biases offers a bit of a unique proposition. So Shukla emphasizes two distinct aspects of the Weights and Biases approach. So first, every product is co-designed in collaboration with partners and customers, which really makes sure that their needs are addressed. And second, the platform actually provides really robust tools that allow users to examine the data sets, and use the training models, which is really ensuring potential issues like biases, data privacy concerns are identified early on. So according to Shukla, weights and biases, well, this is a direct quote, but they said weights and biases stands out as a pioneering platform to help developers craft superior models with speed. Our suite of tools facilitates rapid experimentation, ensures data and models are efficiently tracked, and promotes seamless collaboration between teams. So I think one of the weights and biases, really like one of their undeniable strengths, I think, is just their early market entry. I think they're integrated into more than 20,000 open source repositories, and they're cited in a ton of different academic papers. So I think it's a preferred tool for a bunch of different AI model developers, including a bunch of like industry giants, right? So there's like OpenAI, Anthropic, and OpenAI in particular, they actually leverage weights and biases a lot. I think that it was noted, Shulka actually said, quote, OpenAI relies on our platform to swiftly test, debug, and train their models, including GPT-4. So, right, I think being integrated into something as big as GPT-4 and into that pipeline does a couple things, right? Number one, they are in the biggest AI chatbot, so that's got to be great for the company. But in addition to that, it kind of sets a precedent, right, for other companies coming into this space. They're seeing the number one players using this company, and I think it really helps them in that. So I think the trajectory for weights and biases has been really impressive. Their user base has surged from, I think they had around 100,000 users in 2021. They're over 700,000 now, and they have 1,000 paying customers. So the team has expanded to over 200 employees. Most of them are based in San Francisco. But kind of looking into the future, I think Weights and Biases is really gearing up to launch Prompts, which is a groundbreaking product aimed at essentially facilitating interrogations of LLM outputs and refining LLMs. And Shukla sees them as a pivotal step and actually said, quote, LLMs may streamline model training, but they necessitate a more extensive pool of professionals to refine and interface with those models. So I think the future indeed is looking very promising for Weights and Bias, especially as they continue to expand their ML ops and their offerings there. So this is definitely a company we're going to continue watching in the future to see how they grow and impact the industry.
This episode is brought to you by Shopify. That's the sound of switching your business to Shopify, the global commerce platform that supercharges your selling. Harness the best converting checkout and same intuitive features, trusted apps, and powerful analytics used by the world's leading brands. Stop leaving sales on the table. Discover why millions trust Shopify to build, grow, and run their business. Sign up today for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/tech23.
Thank you for listening to the AI Chat podcast. If you enjoyed this podcast, I'd appreciate it if you rate us wherever you listen to your podcast. And if you're looking for an innovative group of AI enthusiasts, make sure to check out our Discord channel and Facebook community. It's obviously a lot more interactive than a podcast where we can share software, tools, and prompts we're using in AI every day. I'll leave a link for those in the description below.